Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast, the wrestling recap version, where we will actually not be recapping a week in wrestling this week. We are here to predict the Elimination Chamber 2020. It is tonight. We're very excited for this pay-per-view. I'm Stephen Clark with Jesse Norman and Justin Valentovic, and like I just said, we're here to predict, preview, and honestly just try to, I don't know, understand what's happening in this pay-per-view. Not too much is happening, but it's still very, very exciting. Elimination Chamber is always a fun pay-per-view.
A little chat,
a talk, a little discussion. I like that. It's a B tier pay per view, but it's usually wound to being good. It's one of the more extreme ones, having the big structure and all that. So it's always pretty exciting. We're on the road to WrestleMania. It's a very exciting time. But before I continue talking about Elimination Chamber and all that stuff, fellas, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Family's getting, our shit back together. Family, father's home from the hospital, so that's pretty good. That's going through the motions. That's under control. It snowed again in New Jersey. What a surprise.
We got more this time.
Central
area.
Fuck it, you're supposed to. Yeah, deal with it.
Hey, no, you're north. You're supposed to get more.
We're supposed to get more on Monday, apparently. So that's cute.
I heard.
Oh, God.
It's
rain down there.
It's too lucky. The horses love the rain. It's just too much at this point. I don't care. Warmer weather, please. It's amazing. It's supposed to be 39 up here, and then snow showers in the morning will give way to a mixture of rain and snow in the afternoon. 1 to 3 inches accumulation. Then 42, 48, 46, 37, 41, 48, 47 degrees for the next 7 days.
Is this a weather podcast now?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's science.
Just reading off numbers.
Got to get your old buddy from school.
It just needs to get warmer, and we need to move on because I'm tired of snow.
Okay, Jesse, on a brighter note, I hope. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain too much. Gonna watch Elimination Chamber tomorrow. Follow it up with the Nets game. Let's see if they can go 5-0 on their road trip.
My God, they're looking really good. I think they beat every team in the West or something.
Yeah,
and too.
They've beaten everybody that's above 500 that they've played. They have beaten at the time that they were above 500.
This isn't
and Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie have only played 6 games together. And one of those was the Toronto game where Durant got pulled early.
We should probably do an NBA podcast sometime this week.
This isn't a weather.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try to Monday-ish.
We should. Perfect. We should. No, this isn't basketball weather, but the Nets do look really good, and I don't see who's beating them in a
Wizards suck.
Series in the playoffs.
That's my update.
At this point in time right now.
10K.
We suck too, Justin. We're in the same boat finally this year.
Yeah,
we both suck. So
we'll both be in the same boat that one of us won't.
Baseball's around the corner, so that's
we both won't have Bradley Beal come playoff time, so it's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, not a weather podcast, not a basketball podcast. This is the wrestling podcast, and I'm about to call someone and mute myself. Talk for a second.
So Elimination Chambers this weekend, Jesse. How are you feeling about the show initially?
All right,
I mean, it's I don't want to say thrown together, but it's half thrown together.
Very,
yeah,
kind of. Because they just had the Rumble.
It just doesn't. Yeah,
I feel like it was too quick.
And they just had the NXT.
Well, because
Takeover too.
It just feels quick because February is such a short month, and the fact that they put Rumble towards the end of January, it's too fast and it's too much at this point. Clark just had.
Don't forget we got to fit Fastlane in.
Oh God!
No, I thought you were lagging for a second, like you were doing your Wi-Fi cutting out, smacking the Orioles flag behind you.
Oh no! You froze on my screen, so yeah. But they
neither of you froze on mine,
okay.
So maybe
all just froze.
They shouldn't have 2 pay-per-views before Mania. They should just go back to 1 because this is too much at this point.
Yes, I've said for years, Fastlane Roadblock is a waste. It's not a good pay-per-view, even if the matches are good.
Roadblock was literally what his name was. It was just in the way, and
it was just in the way.
Jesse, that just reminds me of our arguments on No Rest Holds when you would just crap on Fastlane all the time. And
Fastlane,
the matches are fine. The matches are never bad, but it doesn't actually matter. None of it actually matters.
And you still owe us a pizza from No Rest Holds or something like that because Fastlane was good.
I definitely don't, because the argument was if Fastlane was a good pay-per-view, which it still wasn't. It had good matches. It was not a good pay-per-view.
Was there ever a good Fastlane?
True. average.
Even if there was, even again with good matches, it doesn't make for a good pay-per-view because
Just doesn't make sense.
What's a big thing that's ever happened on Fastlane? When has the WrestleMania main event changed on Fastlane?
No, I agree. It's matches that could be bolstered on SmackDown or Raw to make those shows better, but instead they just throw them on a pay-per-view. But we're to get into predictions right now for Elimination Chamber, but let's just remind everybody of the standings. And Jesse is still in the lead at 2 wins for the pay-per-view predictions. I'm at 1. Justin's at 0. I don't think before actually we get into anything, I'm going to go back to the Royal Rumble for a second. We know we mentioned it quickly on the road to WrestleMania and all that stuff. And I just wanted to get on our Royal Rumble reaction podcast. Jesse and I did it with Ryan, and we didn't give the pay-per-view a rating. So I just wanted to get a quick rating of the Rumble before we go. I could have done this off air, but I said, why not? So it's documented on a video or YouTube. Justin said in the last podcast he gives the Rumble a 6.
Not gonna lie, I fell asleep like halfway through the show and like was unconscious.
We're sticking with let's
stay with 6 because quite frankly I don't remember a third of it.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it for me the Rumble. I thought it was pretty good. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8 as well.
8. Okay, so Takeover is still our highest rated pay-per-view of the year so far at a 26.5 out of 30 or an 88 out of 100. So Takeover is still our highest rated pay-per-view, but hopefully something else beats that.
I don't think I'm calling it now. Nothing will.
Nothing will. You think 88 out of 100?
I think if it will, it'll be another. It'll
have to be another Takeover.
Either Mania or it'll be another Takeover.
So how are we scoring Mania?
Takeover before Mania might get it.
What do you mean? How are we scoring Mania? Two different nights. Two different
Mania 2
ones.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Mania 2.
That's what I was asking.
So it gives you an opportunity to gain a point there.
Oh no! I'll just keep. Don't say snow. I'll keep digging myself deeper and deeper, so it doesn't matter.
Digging yourself deeper in the snow. Okay. Elimination Chamber card. I just took the matches right where they were in order. Champion always goes first, which is Jesse. But the first match on the card is WWE Champion Drew McIntyre defending his title inside the chamber against Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston, and the last entrant into the Elimination Chamber because he won the gauntlet match on Raw, Sheamus. How are we feeling about this? I'll go to Jesse first because he's the champion. He gets to pick first and talk about it a little bit first. But Jesse, how are we feeling about this match?
This is Drew. He's gonna win. These guys are all viable contenders, but I mean, Drew just puts them all to sleep. He has consistently. I'm sure the match is gonna be good. But he's pretty much beaten. He's already beaten Styles. He's beaten Orton. While I would love a McIntyre Hardy one-on-one match, I don't even know if we would ever really get it. They've moved Kofi out of the main event, and Sheamus hasn't been in the main event in years. This is just I think they'll set up the Drew Sheamus Fastlane roadblock match in this one, but Drew's gonna win.
I hope it's at Fastlane roadblock. I hope it's not our Mania match because they don't know what they're doing with that title yet.
They don't know what they're doing, but I think at this point there's no way in the year of 2021 that they think they can go to Sheamus for a main event. Or if they do, it's not main eventing the show and it's going to be in like the middle of the card and maybe they'll throw it on the same night that like Bianca Sasha will like main event or something.
Justin, how you feeling?
That's the only way.
I'm going to go a little, not risky, but the second most likely person to win, and I'm going with Randy Orton, because here's my theory, right? Orton's going to win. They go to Fastlane. Drew wins, gets the belt back.
He beats him again.
And then Edge, because Orton then has his, he'll probably get a rematch for whatever reason. Orton, Edge, Drew, triple threat match at WrestleMania. So that's how they're doing that. So I'm saying Orton's going to walk out the chamber with the belt.
Absolutely no way that happens.
I don't care. I'm going with Orton, though.
I see why you're in last now.
I have a question for you, Justin.
I just knocked my camera out of focus. Yes.
Do you want to lose our prediction things or
no? I'm going with Orton. Look, we've seen it where they don't care about taking the belt off of Drew and sticking it right back on a week later. So with that, I'm going with Orton.
Hey,
I don't see anyone else. Right, Kofi's not going to happen. Sheamus isn't going to happen. Jeff is just there to jump off the pod. Styles there to like catch somebody jumping off the cage and go into a Styles clash or do like a forearm off the top of the pod. That's all the reason why he's there. It's really going to be either Drew or Orton, but I'm going with Orton.
I think the second best choice is honestly Sheamus in this match.
Oh.
I would agree.
I really do. I think Sheamus has a better chance than Orton to win this. I think
wait till Orton's the first one.
Orton almost has. That'd be hilarious. Going by each of the entrants, participants, whatever you want to call them in this match, Sheamus has a decent chance of winning just because of the whole storyline going there. Kofi was a last minute entry, but it'd be cool to see Kofi Mania too. I think that would be awesome. A little out of nowhere storyline again, but it's not really crowd, so that's not really going to happen. AJ, Orton, Hardy are all just in there for their names at this point. Orton's in the middle of his feud with the Fiend, so that's the Fiend's gonna come back or something too at this point. We don't know what AJ's really doing, and Jeff's just in there for his name, and they're all former WWE champions. That's what was the whole theme of this Elimination Chamber. But I'm sticking with Jesse here. I'm also going to go for Drew to retain his title. It just doesn't make sense heading into Mania at this point, unless it's Sheamus. I can only see Sheamus being the only other one.
I don't want Ron McDonald to
him
win
off,
it.
And then Sheamus enters Mania as champion, and Drew gets his crowning moment.
That would be terrible. That'd be awful.
Over Sheamus, I think I'd rather him face Goldberg again. I'll be honest.
I'd rather Brock.
And I don't even like
I said
Goldberg.
this on the Rumble podcast, the breakdown, but give me Brock back for a one-off with Drew.
I don't like Brock. Yeah, he already beat Brock though.
I know.
That's kind of the thing. It's like it really does feel like you're literally just doing it again.
And I would say Keith Lee or something.
They'll be doing it in front of fans.
But Keith Lee's in the U.S. title match on this card, and I don't know what's going on in that storyline, but it's very questionable what they're doing at Mania. I have a bad feeling they're just going to go the safe route and just do McIntyre Sheamus on Mania and not just have that main event, because you have the Universal title, which is going to be Roman and Edge most likely main eventing, and then Sasha and Bianca main eventing the other show. So we'll see. Jesse and I picked McIntyre. Justin went with Orton, and I'm going to pick the second one since I'm in second place in the whole thing. And we have the Universal Chamber Universal Championship Elimination Chamber #1 contender match, which the winner of this match earns a title match against Roman Reigns later in the night, most likely going to be right after this chamber, just because that's how Roman works.
Yeah, after they're all tired, and
participants are Kevin Owens.
What?
Yeah,
I was just saying, like, after they're all tired and got the hell kicked out of them, they're like, all right, time to go fight Roman now. So
Roman's a nice guy for letting this happen.
No, he's not.
Yeah, your voice isn't matching up with the picture. I don't know what's going on, but
a little laggy.
All right, whatever works. A little laggy today. As long as we get through this, doesn't matter. Participants: Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro versus Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn versus King Corbin. And once again, like the other match, I feel like you can cross a lot of people out. I feel like you can cross out the heels in this situation. You can cross out Uso, Sami Zayn, and King Corbin. And these other three guys are kind of the guys they've been building over the last couple of weeks on SmackDown. Kind of the top guys on the show. You got Owens, who has been in a feud with Roman for a little while now, who has a chance to win it. But I don't think they're going that route. And then you have Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. And I just, over the last couple of weeks, I've loved what they've been doing with Cesaro. They've been having him win a lot of matches, building him up as this baby face that just loves wrestling and loves to be out there competing. And they're building Cesaro the right way they should have many, many years ago. And I think this is a way to screw him over to get more people behind him and maybe have a one-off at Fastlane or a future SmackDown or something like that. So I'm picking Cesaro to win this, and then I'm also picking Roman to beat whoever.
So that's what I was going to ask. Like
Chamber.
So like, are we going like Roman versus Challenger as the thing, or do like whoever our pick
first picking the winner of the Chamber, then Roman versus whoever?
Okay.
You can either pick whoever or you can pick Roman. You get 6. It doesn't matter who wins for the Roman match. But I'm taking Cesaro, then I'm taking Roman to win the match.
Yeah, I think for this one, like, we're not going to see Corbin because who cares? Jay, we're not really going to see either. Zayn, no. Owens, we've seen him kind of do his mini feud with for a little bit, so I don't think we see that again, which does bring down to basically Daniel Bryan or Cesaro, and we thought Bryan was going to possibly win the Rumble, but ultimately that went to Edge. So we've kind of been, they haven't been teasing, but they've been building Daniel Bryan up enough to where he could be a main eventer again. So it's going to be either Daniel Bryan or Cesaro, and like you said, they have done a really good job building up Cesaro finally for the first time in a long time. But ultimately, I think they're going to give the match to Daniel Bryan just to give him another main event title shot and maybe prolong it a little bit. I don't think he'll be his WrestleMania opponent. I feel like it could go whoever of the final two. Like hopefully it's Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. Like I hope whoever is the opponent now, the opposite is at Mania. That'd be kind of cool to see. So for this one, I'm going to go Daniel Bryan to win the chamber match, but Roman to beat him in the title match.
Okay, cool. Jesse?
I'm very split on both the guys that you picked.
It's tough.
I think it is. I think it's one or the other. While they have been building Cesaro up, I feel like they've done a lot of building him up on talking smack as well, which usually does not translate as much. I think it's kind of sad that Shinsuke's not in this match at all, considering they built him up a little bit, a little while ago.
I could take him instead of
over Corbin or him over Zayn.
Yeah, but Corbin has been the ultimate heel filler for every single match where it's multi-man, and they need a heel to just get thrown in there, who won't win, who'll just be there, and it's always him. That's his role. That's what it always will be, and that's where he'll always be.
I think I'm going to go Cesaro because I think this is the one where they'll have him. I think they're going to set up for the Cesaro-Roman match at Fastlane. Or Roadblock, whatever they're calling it, and then I think at Mania it's Roman Edge. So with that, Cesaro wins, and then obviously Roman beats Cesaro.
Once again, so far, Jesse and I have the same card.
I'm so split on that. I really think it could be Daniel Bryan too. But
those are the two I'm down to. And honestly, Jey Uso is a dark horse.
Jey Uso's a dark horse. What I think they're going to do with the Uso story is he's either going to be final 2 or final 3, and then he's going to get eliminated, and Roman's going to be big mad at him again, like he always is.
Because then it could have been because then Roman could have been like, give me the easy
win.
Exactly. But all right, cool. I like the picks there. See, that was a good pick, Justin. Daniel Bryan's a good pick. I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah, I didn't get crucified this time.
No, because this wasn't a stupid pick. All right. I hope Orton wins in a way, not just so Justin can roast me on the breakdown episode for just crucifying him.
It'll sound like when the Orioles beat the Yankees, just insufferable.
Yeah. All right, let's move into another title match on the show. We have Bobby Lashley defending his United States Championship match in a triple threat match against Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. Maybe one of the hardest ones of the night to predict. Justin, you're up. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like all of them in this match, honestly. Riddle is kind of due for a main card belt. Keith Lee could use it. Bobby Lashley, I'm fine with him keeping it because I like what the Hurt Business is doing. Quite frankly, so I'm good with any of these. My heart says I'd want Keith Lee to win the belt, but ultimately I think Bobby Lashley's going to walk out with it still. I could see one of these two, though, Riddle or Lee, winning at Mania whenever one of the nights, because the U.S. title is going to be on the line, maybe in a ladder match potentially or something like that. So I could see one of them winning it there, but I think Bobby Lashley leaves with the belt.
Jesse, what are you thinking?
I think I agree. I think I'm going Lashley to retain. I think Keith Lee and Riddle both could win. But like Justin said, I think they'd wait to do it on the bigger stage to flip the belt. And I think late. Yeah, I mean, but also doesn't one belt kind of have to switch hands? Because
not necessarily. They need something to happen. But I think the
last takeover, nothing.
There's one belt I think is going to switch. So we'll get there.
I don't think any are going to switch. That's kind of my problem.
I don't think any are going to switch either. But that just kind of not ruined, but we showed our predictions ahead of time. But no, I have a theory that Lashley's going to retain. Keith Lee, I know his wife Mia Yim or fiance got COVID recently, and he hasn't really been doing too much stuff on TV. Keith Lee and all that stuff. But it's basically this. No. Okay. But this feud has been mainly. Don't interrupt me. This feud has been mainly Bobby Lashley versus Riddle. What are you talking about?
I'm saying I've done that a few times. Like I just did it now. Move along.
The feud the whole time has been Lashley versus Riddle, and Keith Lee's kind of butted his head in here or there. I have a feeling Keith Lee helps Bobby Lashley win, and Keith Lee becomes that cornerstone of the Hurt Business that I've been hoping for since his Hurt Business has come along. I think this is when it really happens. And then eventually it might not last long with Keith Lee in the Hurt Business. He might get sick of it and then eventually challenge Lashley for the title. And there's your Mania match, Bobby Lashley versus Keith Lee for the U.S. title. But for the next couple months or so, I think Keith Lee joins up with the business, kind of like how Gargano and Ciampa were reunited DIY for a second time for just a couple months, and they had their big blow-off matches. I think Lee helps Lashley win the title, so my pick is also Bobby Lashley.
I like that because months ago when the Hurt Business started, when Cedric joined, we talked about who is going to be the guy that gets put over at the end of this, because it's not Lashley, it's not Shelton Benjamin, it's not MVP. So by default, we were kind of like, well, it has to be Cedric. But if they add Keith Lee into that makes it much different.
And like I said, you don't have to have Keith Lee in the Hurt Business for long, because he's
literally
not really
a month or two.
He hasn't been a heel at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then have him like get sick of something or whatever, and then challenge Lashley.
Somebody's like, no, you do it our way,
title at Mania.
Not how you do it. And he's like, I don't like that.
Yeah. Exactly. So we're all going Lashley on the board there, so that's fun. And let's get into our last two matches of the night. We're going back to Jesse for the Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka defending against Lacey Evans, because she announced on Raw this week that she's pregnant. In storyline, I think Rick knocked her up, but I think in real life, she's actually pregnant. So she is actually pregnant in real life. Congratulations to her. But if this match happens, I don't know. Asuka versus mystery opponent, Asuka versus Lacey. All right. I think we all have the same result.
Asuka's gonna win.
But
regardless of who she faces.
Yes.
Of course, Charlotte Flair just slides in and gets another title reign. You can never ever discount that from happening.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's their break glass and go to.
I'm still gonna go Asuka, but if they just throw Charlotte Flair into this match just because, I'll be sweating.
I'll be sweating too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go Asuka to win.
Yeah, no, me too. I think this is a very simple one. Asuka.
Do you think we get Asuka Charlotte at Mania again? I think that's where we're heading.
Very, like, I was looking at the Raw Women's roster the other day. Unless Bailey jumps ship or something,
there's
Rhea
no
Ripley
other
gets
match
called up.
Yeah,
maybe we'll see Rhea tomorrow. I don't know. I think it's Asuka Charlotte again. I really do. Which kind of stinks in a way, but
unless Becky comes back too, that's another option.
No. That would be cool. Oh, that would be fun if she came back tomorrow.
Oh, no.
I like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Just takes the belt off Asuka and just, all right, Asuka, thanks for all your work. You can go away now. We'll call you back when we need when all the four horsemen's gone.
If that's the Mania match, that's awesome. That's an awesome Mania match. So we're all going to pick Asuka and stick with Asuka.
Yeah.
All right. Asuka. Okay.
Just going to jot that one down in the old notebook.
Oh, you know how I'm nice and organized.
Classic
right
pen and paper.
Very organized.
How many notebooks do you think do you think you clear out a notebook by the end of the calendar year?
No, because there's a lot of pages in this.
Jesus, okay. Didn't know if it was.
What? I was just showing you how many pages was in it.
Justin acts like
it's one of my. This is like my VPE. It's like one of my old school notebooks. This one I just ripped out a couple of the note pages and I just.
For college at freshman year, I bought five subject notebooks from the bookstore. I used them all throughout all 4 years. That's how many little notes I took in class, to where each.
I'll just say take notes on the computer. That's what I used to do.
Nah, I don't learn as well. I don't remember as well on the computer.
I haven't taken notes in about 2 years.
That's exactly the thing. I didn't really have to do much through years 3 and 4, because it's just, who cares at this point.
And especially our majors too of broadcast journalism.
Yeah, you take 2 notes how to use a camera, and then you go use the camera.
It's hands-on stuff. It's all hands-on stuff. But last match of the card, this was announced 2 nights ago on
Twitter
SmackDown.
Right? Was it on Twitter? I saw it on Twitter.
No. well, obviously, yeah, they tweeted it out, but happened during 2 nights ago on SmackDown, where it will be Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defending their women's tag team titles. I'm glad they're finally defending them a lot against Sasha and Bianca, and we're back to me for this pick. And I'm going with Nia and Shayna to retain, just because. Oh, Justin loves Nia's hole.
Nope.
Did I freeze?
No, you didn't. You're fine.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I froze or not.
A little laggy. You're fine.
Okay.
Keep talking.
It's being very, very wonky today. But I was just talking about how you love Nia's hole. And it's a little tricky. A couple scenarios that could happen here, but ultimately on NXT this week, they started building towards Nia and Shayna versus Dakota and Raquel because they won the Dusty Women's Cup and all that stuff. So I just think that they're sticking with that, and I'm more in my heart. I think that Dakota and Raquel are eventually going to win the titles, and they're not going to win it from Sasha and Bianca, I don't think. So I'm just sticking with Nia and Shayna to retain the titles here, and just continues to build towards Sasha and Bianca's feud at WrestleMania. That's my theory here.
All right. Well, here's my theory. Sasha and Bianca are going to win the belts. Mm-hmm. They'll main event night 1 of WrestleMania
with the belts.
With the belts. So they'll have their fight with each other. Someone's going to walk out the winner, obviously. And then the next night is when Dakota and Raquel take the belts off of them. So for this one, I'm going to go with Bianca and Sasha to win them.
The old Cena Michaels.
Yeah.
Cena beats Michaels at Mania, and then in the Battle Royal the next night, Michaels eliminates Cena.
I like the theory. It's not a bad pick at all.
Because we kind of saw them they sort of interacted with each other enough. Now they're obviously a team, so it's not like they have like a blood feud going into Mania, even though they're challenging each other for the belts. Like they're relatively on good terms. So why not throw the belts on each other?
That's the thing.
See, that's
they're
what we
on
thought
good terms at the moment.
Well, that's exactly it. That's why we thought they were going to do it with Asuka and like Charlotte earlier on when they had the belts.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're going to do with them, and then because of their match the night before, and they beat the hell out of each other. Hopefully, it's a great match. That's what ultimately screws them out of retaining the belts the next night.
Jesse, your thoughts?
I'm going Jackson Baszler because I think the story is Dakota Kai and Baszler, and Dakota Kai finally getting her revenge on her. I think Dakota Kai should pin Shayna in the middle of the ring after Raquel destroys her. I mean, me and Clark have the same card again, but I get the whole.
Great minds think alike, Jesse.
I get the Sasha Bianca thing, I do, and I like it, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I just don't think it has enough.
It's a potential toss-up too, because you just don't know what direction they're going in at this point.
We also don't know when. We don't know when the title match is. Did they announce?
They just said in the future, which Dakota said she'd want.
I'm pretty sure.
Dakota said she'd want it to be at Mania.
Okay. I hope it's at Mania.
I'm pretty sure it's on the March 3rd NXT, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, interesting.
I think. Yes. So that's what I think they said on NXT this week, or they put a tweet out or something that both title matches, because MSK gets a title match too against Lorcan and Birch. I think they're doing them both on the March 3rd episode of NXT, which is a week from Wednesday. Yeah. So if that changes anyone's pick, I'll allow a change before.
No, I think that really doubles me down on Jackson Baszler. Because I think Baszler and Jax going back to NXT, or at least Baszler going back to NXT, is a much better story than putting Bianca and Sasha in a random tag match that doesn't have any type of story or anything to it.
Yeah. No. All right. So for the second pay-per-view in a row, I'm not going to be able to gain any total points against Jesse because we have the exact same predictions again, and Justin's going to try his hardest to get a point so far so he can get on the board. It'd be nice.
It's gonna happen. What if Bianca and Sasha win, but it doesn't matter because you picked Orton?
I also picked Daniel Bryan. So that gets me a point
Oh,
somewhere.
that's true. That's
He
true.
has a
Actually,
lot
never
of
mind.
chances to beat us.
Yeah,
He has a lot of
there are
chances
actually
to beat us.
Alright.
there's also a lot of chances for me to keep digging myself into a ditch. So
That too, but I was looking on the positive side more, trying to see if you can.
Even
catch
if you
up
pick
a
the
little
exact same card, we'd all just, you wouldn't gain any life.
yeah, that's why I got to do it. I can't. I'd rather.
bit. I mean,
See,
I'd
we're in
rather
February.
finish
But
with
here's
0.
Here's the thing.
In the wise
But
words
here's
of Dion Waiters, I'd rather go 0 for 30
Exactly.
than 0 for 9.
But here's
Because
the
if
thing.
I go 0 for 9, I lost my confidence.
But here's the thing. It's like I'd rather go 16-0, but I'd rather go 0-16 than 8-8 at that point, right? Because like if you're just kind of treading water, you're not really gaining. You're not doing anything. I'd rather just
What are you getting a draft pick?
Yes.
But Justin, we're only in week 2 of the season right now. We're not in week
Justin
17
just
yet.
traded
That's the other
his
thing.
quarterback.
Dan
Who
Orlovsky
lost
ran out of the
week
end
one, was
zone
like, I'm
in
done.
week like 2. So
Orlovsky ran out of the end zone.
what it was.
Hey, we have a long way to go. We have pay-per-views. We have takeovers
If I'm
too.
going,
So
if
there's a
I'm
lot
gonna
involved.
lose, if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna make
You
it.
want to lose early?
Well,
Go without swinging.
I'm gonna make it look awesome. Like it's gonna be the Jimmy Butler meme. Like, damn, that was the record. So that's what I'm going for. Either you got to risk it, and if I'm gonna look bad, I'm gonna look fucking awesome while doing it. Who knows?
Well, in the wise word, or you could win. That's
Exactly.
it. Or you could win.
That's true.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. So that does it for this episode of the Sports Forum Podcast. We just predicted Elimination Chamber. That we had a little fun episode we put together there. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Follow our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports Depth Pod. I know Justin finally got the mock draft episode out, which is doing really well. So
we're planning on doing another one pretty soon.
Yeah.
We want to do not a trade only
nice.
one, but like a trade, like more trades. We only did 2 or 3 last one, so we're probably gonna up it to like maybe like 5 or 6 trades here and there.
Cool.
And a lot more sleepers and such.
Cool. So
really
that's coming. A basketball. How about I get released in April? A basketball one's coming up soon. We talked about earlier in the show. Baseball, we were predicting division by division. The AL Central one just went up, so that's coming too. And
NL
Central will be wrestling too. Elimination Chamber we got to review.
Yeah, NL Central will be this week, and I think Steve's working on a hockey one because the NHL's playing out at Lake Tahoe to Sunday, so that just looks awesome. So that'd be cool to talk about for them.
Yeah, so all that sports stuff is coming to our channel, so stay tuned to that, and we'll see you in the next episode.